What's going on, YouTube? Another video. Yeah, I messed my camera up, but we only doing one take. One take only. But yeah, I just want to get on here and talk to y'all boys today about just something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and it's just something I'm gonna call the new standard. And when I'm talking about the new standard, I'm talking about the intense and truthfully unfair standard young men are being held to today, and how trying to achieve and uphold this standard, it could lead you to not only frustration, but driving yourself insane. Mainly because it's a standard that shouldn't be upheld and it shouldn't be required from us. Let me go ahead and explain what I mean. So, as we all know, as men in society, we're expected to protect, provide, and to work and care for. We're supposed to be the solid rock of which a family is built upon. These traditions haven't changed for hundreds of years. This has been our role. It's hardwired within us to be these things. The only thing that has changed and has been actually rapidly changing these days is how society functions and what's expected of other people within that system. We can no longer provide just due to the shortage of jobs from outside variables such as AI, robotics, and just the amount of jobs that were once open within the United States have become obsolete because they are no longer needed because they've been replaced by newer technology like I was just mentioning, or they've been outsourced out of the United States for cheaper labor, such as China, Mexico, and Malaysia. So there's the shortage of jobs, which hinders our ability to provide. Not only that, but inflation as well. So that's one thing that we're dealing with. The lack of spaces where men can be men exclusively. Men used to be able to go to the barbershop and kick it and talk and chat and do things like this. This is where you would bounce ideas off of other men who looked just like you. And this is where you receive instruction and knowledge from your older gentlemen. You got to set an appointment to get a haircut these days, and all these barbers are Instagram worthy and famous. It's not the same. You can't go to the barbershop, you can't go to the gym because you'll get caught looking in a TikTok girl's camera, and now you're a sex offender. So the gym is no longer safe. Boxing gyms, dojos, these places are empty because no one wants to do these things anymore. Everybody wants to take the easy route. And then on top of that, a lot of the disciplines have been watered down to the point where they're no longer their true version. Sorry about that. I got an emergency alert. There's a flash flood. And that interrupted the video, which is super annoying, but we'll continue. These martial arts are no longer their true selves anymore just because they've been watered down to appeal to the masses who are no longer that disciplined to upkeep them. Everybody wants to be an overnight black belt, and dojos want to make money. And in order to make money, they give people these things cheaply. They didn't really earn it. It's instant gratification everywhere. It's hard to even try to create a family these days. In order for you to get a date from an average woman, like average, 5 out of 10, just for a date, just to like sit with this person one-on-one and try to figure out who they are and find out if they're compatible with you, boy, oh boy, you don't even want to know what you got to do. You got to be 6 feet tall. You got to have 6-figure income. You got to have 3 months worth of rent on hand. It's an insane standard for a below par product. Below par. But let society tell it, let Instagram tell it, let Snapchat tell it. If you aren't 6% body fat, year round with, like let's say driving a Hellcat and diamond chains and earrings and gold teeth, if you aren't one of these people living this lifestyle, you don't deserve basic human interaction. Like, that's crazy to think about and try to wrap your mind around and understand. Like Cardi B said on her song, I don't even know the name of that song. Broke boys don't deserve no pussy. When you really take that and you break it down to what it is, and you try to grasp and understand what she means by that, and she's basically a siren spreading a message that is detrimental to everyone who hears it. I'm not saying if you're homeless and you have no aspirations or goals about yourself, women should still be giving you a chance or giving you a shot. But it's just, these days, the definition of broke has changed. If you're a young guy with your head screwed on right, get up and you go to work every day, yeah, you might not have 6 figures yet. Yeah, you might not be living in a multi-room mansion. But if you got your bills covered, like your bills are paid, you can put gas in your car that way you can keep on going to work, and you have a goal and an aspiration about yourself, you far from broke. Far from it. And you having all of these grand things, living this rich, wealthy, abundant lifestyle should not be the determining factor if you should receive basic human interaction. Basic human interaction. Just like a plant needs sunlight and water to grow, human beings need love and attention. And this standard is the same reason why so many men look at it and they just give up. Me personally, I know quite a few friends of mine over these past few years that have taken their own lives due to this immense societal pressure, and them being constantly reminded, not even reminded, them being constantly told that they're worth less than. Being constantly told that they need to work harder, even though they're putting out 100% of their work ethic and power. And it's not being recognized because everyone has this wicked, twisted idea of what success is and what it's not. And it's driving young men into early graves. And I don't think people really understand that yet. They cannot understand that young men are the driving force and backbone of a society that is of a thriving society. They are an absolute necessity. A necessity. Our blue collar workers these days, like our electricians, our plumbers, our HVAC technicians, they're all getting up there in age, and they're not going to be able to work forever. And men aren't replacing them due to the reason being is like, what's the point? What's the point of working myself into the ground, working my fingers to the bone, and there's no reward or goal in sight? I won't get a girlfriend because I'm not driving a Ferrari. I won't get a family because I can't afford this insane house at this insane price because of the inflation and the interest rates going up. You can't even afford a new car anymore. Like, it used to be a goal to save up and buy a used car, a used sport car that you can work on and you can fix up. I was online looking at cars. Like, I wanted a nicer sports car for myself. Nothing new. It was a 2005 Cadillac CTS-V. And the prices for these used cars from ages ago, that car is almost 20 years old, and they still want $15,000 for it. Kind of hard to like grasp. There is no incentive for young men these days to work hard other than the pleasure of working hard. But we all know that we work hard in hopes of reaching a goal and being able to obtain the reward of our hard work. If you're working hard and the only goal and reward that you have is to continue to work hard, that raises the question of why work hard when I'll receive the same exact reward if I didn't work hard. And some people will say, "Oh, that's laziness setting in." No, it's not. If you're not being appreciated and rewarded and praised for your hard work, but instead you're being shot down and ignored, and you're just being treated as a second-class citizen, you want to give up. You want to give up. And unfortunately, a lot of young men these days are giving up. They're quiet quitting. They're dropping out of the workforce. They're not replacing these jobs that need to function, that society needs to function. And it's society's fault, 100%. But you reap what you sow. And the U.S. society has been sowing a lot of disdain and hate and no love or nurturing into these young men. In a few years, maybe not next year, maybe not the year after, as a country and as a society, we're gonna reap what we've sown over these past 10, 20 years. Just the lack of care for young men and their plight. And nobody's asking for a handout, and nobody's asking for pity. It's just, we want what's due to us for the work that's been done. Just a little bit of appreciation. Just a small amount. It makes no sense. 0 cents. That you can go out of your way. Let's say I'm just like within my own like social circle, my friends, I'm seeing the links. Me personally, I stopped dating because it's a zero-sum game. I'm 6'4", 200 pounds, lean muscle, dress well, smell good. I'm not an idiot. Have my own car, my own crib, my own career, money invested and saved. I'm not a millionaire by any means, but I have my ducks in a row, let's say. And I have girls who are overweight, staying with their parents, older than me. Oh my goodness. Just thinking about it and just trying to admit it on camera is making me like annoyed. Informing me that somehow, for some reason, I'm not enough for them. And that is an insane concept to try to grasp and understand. But it's the reality of a lot of young men these days. Sometimes they don't even get a text back or a call. They set up dates and they get flaked on. Only way to win is to not play. And a lot more men are not playing these days. Society's collapse is inevitable. Around the corner. Who knows when? Whenever it is, just be ready and don't say you haven't been warned. As always, if you have any counter arguments or you will have another point that you would like to share, just go ahead and leave it into the comments. I'll try to get back to it, make another video about it. Love. Peace.